2-point George Mason victory.
And Bert, what they did, they played Anderson tough. They made Williams not receive the basketball. Great challenge on the jump shot. And it is extraordinary what these tough-minded competitors have been able to do.
George Mason is going to Indianapolis. My goodness, 2 points. Let's go back to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Vern, Cinderella on her way to the Final Four. George Mason going to Indy. We will have complete post-game coverage coming up for you at halftime. Winners and losers, net-cutting ceremonies, all of that coming up at halftime of this game. Off to Minneapolis we go. Florida and Villanova for the final spot in the Final Four. Jim Nance and Billy Packer.
Greg, thank you. There was a huge roar inside the Metrodome when they just announced the score moments ago. Florida and Villanova coming up, the last piece of the puzzle. Hello, friends. Jim Nance and Billy Packer. You know, we think.
How did you take the roar? Jim Calhoun wished Villanova good luck last weekend.
Everyone in this it is. You know, you think of Villanova as the ultimate Cinderella with its 85 championship, but we have a whole new one with George Mason going to Indianapolis.
Well, never before since the field of 64 have we had a mid-major making the Final Four. Congratulations to Jim Larinaga. Incredible accomplishment considering who they beat.
Just an amazing run through not only UConn, but Carolina, Michigan State, and Wichita State. This game brought to you on HDTV by Harris Corporation, world leader in broadcast systems for high-definition television and mobile media. The winner of this one will take on George Mason next Saturday in Indianapolis, and session here.
And foy on Noah. The All-American takes on the man who has played like an All-American.
Horford down low with Sheridan defending, and Horford with a nice move for the first basket.
Well, Noah at 6'11", Jim, and plays even bigger with that length. And Foy is on him, giving up all that size. That's going to be interesting.
Here's Foy, the star on Friday night with 29 of his team's sick-time win over Boston College. Ray with the three. Tipped up Sheridan once, pulled down Horford.
So far, I love the matchups that Billy Donovan. He's got Brewer playing on the penetrator using his height. This is going to be a real problem for Villanova, the way these matchups are set.
Humphrey with the three. And Horford with a second board. They're getting it down low. Noah had a good shot before. Brewer with a three. That's wide.
I think Brewer should have gone right where you have the big advantage.
Sheridan open for the jumper.
And there you see Lowry again. Normally a guy that just stays underneath.
Horford rolls over, though, for the loose ball. And they have a tie-up with the arrow going to Villanova. We got all the experience of Villanova taking on a team with 4 sophomores and a junior in the starting lineup.
Florida lost 60% of their scoring last year, but Billy Donovan has done a tremendous job taking these on the squad. Just didn't get minutes last year.
Foy hits the three for Villanova
from about 3 steps beyond the three-point line.
He was just amazing on Friday night as his team rallied from 16 down to beat the Eagles. Inside, Horford to Noah.
And Noah thinks he's playing with nobody guarding him. He's that much bigger than any matchup that he's got on the floor. I think that you're going to see early Jay Wright go with the bigger lineup. There are some bad mismatches for him on the defensive end
of the way with that game plan on Friday.
I think we're going to see Cunningham in this ball game very rapidly. Horford on Nardi. Nardi's got to take advantage when he's got a man like that.
It's Foy over to Nardi.
There is Nardi.
And that shot blocked by Horford. Picked up by Nardi, and he scores. He had not hit a shot, talking about Nardi, since the second field goal of the game against Arizona last Sunday. But now he's on the board after being blocked on his first attempt. And Noah, and that's going to go against Villanova. They'll count that basket.
Lowry gets there too late, and Noah, just as I said, Jim, playing over the top. Now, I wonder how long Jay Wright's going to stay with this lineup. There's just such a big advantage for Florida right here on this matchup. Lowry tries to cut his legs out. It's just with tough, hard-nosed basketball the way he plays.
So Noah coming off another Most impressive line in the game against Georgetown Friday night. Points, but rebounds, blocks, steals, assists. He does it all tournament long.
Absolutely, Jim. His lines for this tournament have just been tremendous. Almost like triple-double type lines every game.
Get 15, 10 boards, 5 steals, and there's a block for him. That was against Georgetown. Now Nardi with the 3. And it's Noah tipping it over to a teammate, and it goes off the Gators.
Jim, one of the things, if you're playing against Villanova, with what Lowry does, I don't think I'd guard him. I think I'd keep inside the foul line and make him bring the ball there. And then the other thing, whoever's guarding him should break long, because Lowry hangs out underneath the offensive rebounding basket all the time, so somebody should break long for an easy basket.
Ray puts it up, gets it back, reach in on Green. Taurean Green with the hold. The Villanova guards, though, decorated when you talk about Foy and Ray, but don't forget about Lowry. Nardi with a basket early. They account for 80% of the total offense for the Wildcats.
It'd be a big lift for Villanova if Nardi could hit a jump shot.
Well,
that's huge. He needed to get his confidence going, because he will have on the other end a mismatch with a big man guarding him.
5 for Nardi, who's out high on Noah.
Little zone defensive action by Villanova.
And Horford, way too much muscle and height for Nardi.
You could see when Nardi came back in there, didn't even feel him, did he, Jim? Nardi tried to do some defensive work.
Horford with an impressive start. 2 baskets, 3 block, and an assist.
Now Nardi's on Horford. That's where the mismatch is on this end of the floor. Beautiful fake.
Foy, and a foul on Brewer. Brewer, who hit the game winner, the most improbable shot against Georgetown. And here's a look, though. If you talked about the guards on the Villanova side, the big men of the Gators, and we're seeing how strong they are early. Plus, you got Taurean Green back there directing traffic.
Well, it's great to watch 2 of the outstanding young coaches in the country. They realize they have big advantages in mismatches, and neither one wants to pull the trigger right now as to which guy's going to get game flows right now. But you have to figure the guy that gives in first is going to do it, in the case of Villanova, by getting bigger. In the case of Florida, going smaller.
Randy Foy, the Big East Player of the Year, hits 2. He was saying yesterday during the meetings with the media that he's a blue-collar worker on the floor as he retrieves this one, and a gentleman off the court. And he has been blue-collar, blue star performance as he this time. Blue ribbon, I should say. Nardi chased to the corner, and he'll go back out high for a reset. Well, Nardi, they're going to leave him alone, Billy.
Yep, he's got to make those shots early, because Horford cannot get out on him.
Jay Wright's team's got 8 misses, but 6 offensive rebounds. Will continue after this word from your local station.
How I Met Your Mother, Monday on CBS, America's most watched network.
When severe weather becomes breaking RAL news, Greg Fischel and a team of meteorologists with more than 100 years of experience. When severe weather becomes breaking news, WRAL News. Weather coverage you can count on.
It's time for a reunion of the class of '86.
I never watched that game. You know, I have a tape of it. I never watched it.
We did everything but put the cherry on top.
Just missing it prompted them to do more.
Monday, April 3rd at 7 p.m.
The throw-in. The power forward. Going coast to coast. It's the GMC NCAA March Madness event at 23,350 after all offers. The 06 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab SL 2-wheel drive is ready to take on the competition. Or during March Madness, get extra bonus cash on select 05 and 06 vehicles in inventory. See the pros at your local GMC dealers.
Introducing Red Zone Clear Gel, our strongest clear gel ever.
Old Spice.
The tournament is here, and Boyd Honda wants to be part of the action by passing along huge savings to you. The stakes on the court are high, but the prices in Oxford are low. 2006 Element EXs for $18,495. 2006 Accord starting at $16,995. Plus, great deals on our entire inventory. Come save like never before at Boyd Honda. Give us the opportunity, and we'll show you why a very short drive makes such a big difference. 96 and I-85 exit 204 Oxford.
WRAL TV celebrating 50 years of coverage you can count on.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by DiGiorno, Singular, the Principal Financial Group, and by Chevrolet.
Back here in Minneapolis, Billy Donovan has taken his team to a Final Four, in fact to the finals back in 2000, and Jay Wright and his fifth get there for the first time.
Jim, both of these guys outstanding. What is kind of interesting, there's a parallel there. When you take into consideration these are guys who are program builders. Jay Wright with losing records his first 3 years, and now look at where he has his team. In the case of Billy Donovan, 2 losing records at Florida. Look at where he has his program. So it's not like they inherited perfect situations. They sure have both great teams.
Hodge is in for the Gators, and he hands it back to Green. They work it inside. He wants it back. Horford takes the outside jumper, and Nardi crashes in for the board.
I don't know why Florida has gotten away from Noah. Noah's the guy that has the big mismatch. Sheridan can do a pretty good job on Horford.
Boy, so smooth.
And there he's shooting over the best defensive guard that Florida has in Humphrey. See, they go back into Horford. Sheridan can stay right with Horford.
Horford gets it back, and he dunks it down. He's off to a monster.
Not a good block out that time.
Al Horford, they call him, talking about Donovan, they call him the sponge because every scouting report, when Donovan quizzes his team, he comes back with perfect marks.
But you see that Billy Donovan was the first, and he went small. Now Jay Wright's going to go big, and boy, Ray off on a good start. And as we know the other day, he just could not hit the mark.
2-point basket by Allen Ray. He made some big baskets late, though, against Boston College to the way. Hit 2 big threes and late in regulation.
Right, he was 2 for 9 from 3, 3 for 15 for the day. Floyd picked up the slack.
For everybody.
There's the mismatch.
Noah got 3 players around him, and he'll head to the line.
Jim, when you have such a significant mismatch, you've got to consistently go to it. Here's lockout.
Foul is on Foy, his first, and look at Horford just not giving up. It'll send, who is averaging more than 10 points a game more than he did last year as a freshman. These two teams, Billy, met in the second round last year in Nashville, and Villanova got the better of it there by 11 to advance to the Sweet 16, only to be eliminated by eventual champion North Carolina in the next round.
They did. It was kind of interesting. Villanova in that game was only 3 for 11 for 3. They actually out-rebounded this Florida basketball team. You got to remember that Curtis Sumter in that game had 8 points and 6 rebounds in 10 minutes and then had that injury. But the Villanova was able to win despite
the team, though. Nardi pulls up. Too strong. It's Brewer. Off with it with Florida. Richard coming in, 32 for the Gators.
There's that zone defense now by Villanova. Well, Nardi, no, they are playing man-to-man. Nardi was caught down underneath the basket, didn't have anybody to guard.
Green.
Push.
Push underneath. Again, Villanova brought in Cunningham, 33, the freshman who's been getting a lot in the tournament. And he's whistled for that one. He's been responding too with that playing time. Back in is Kyle Lowry. He has an early foul.
And we saw Jay Wright substitute so liberally in that Boston College game to keep his guys fresh. Nice out of bounds play.
It was Green slashing to the basket, and he got hit on the inbounds pass. And now we've had already 8 early lead changes. Ray looking for some help.
That was a good idea by Ray to defense with him to open up a passing lane.
Sheridan, jumper over Richard.
Push by Cunningham from the back, gets by with it.
Noah. Throws a bullet over to Green, who snags it. And the Gators working on that 1-point lead. Stolen by Lowry. Up to Nardi. Takes it to the other side to avoid Richard, and a foul on Hodge, who is trailing. CBS Sports Line.
Oh, technical foul, Jim. Technical foul in there. We saw Noah get a technical foul for mouthing off in the game against Boston College. Now Villanova picks up one. It might have been Nardi. There was a whole pack of guys inside.
Get hit for the technical after they were going to be rewarded foul shots anyway, and they still will.
No, there's no question that Hodge fouled, but he did not foul the shooter.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Ray bouncing the ball off Hodge.
Now Hodge did not foul the shooter, but to shoot the technical. That's an interesting sequence right there, Jim.
And why the summit here?
Well, I think the summit's going to be here is that what is going to be the sequence? Who gets the ball out of bounds, and where are they actually going to shoot this technical foul or not? Be a dead ball situation here when the technical was called.
They're going to shoot the Florida
and then the ball out of bounds
first.
Right.
And they're going to send Torian Green over. He's a good one too. Had at one point this season 37 consecutive makes from the line. Sophomore from Boca Raton, son of Sidney Green, former star at UNLV, who was an assistant this season for Mike Davis up at Indiana, and former head coach at Florida Atlantic.
Give you an idea how he is in the clutch. 49 of 53, 92.5% in the last 3 minutes. Now you talk about having to be clutch, standing out there all by yourself.
Now wait a minute, you told me the Big Ten tournament that stat, how you shoot free throws in the last 2 or 3 minutes, isn't meaningful.
Well, I'm saying that's what he did. I don't think it's as meaningful as people make of it, but that's right. If you miss,
you laid that stat on you, and you threw it back.
Did I throw it at you?
Threw it back. So give it back.
Yeah, that's right, then.
And he makes both of them, Billy. They'll come back to the other end. And they're going to give the ball to Florida.
Now the foul on the other end, see, was not a shooting foul because he didn't foul the shooter, and they're not in the 1-and-1 yet. And what Jay Wright's saying is, why am I not getting the foul? He doesn't realize that the foul was not on the shooter.
And he probably thought it was in the. So a little 6-0 run here for the Gators. Takes the three, got the feet down, and knocks it down.
Boy, he did square up, and you know Brewer's a lot bigger, Jim, than he looks like. Nice split. Lowry is so difficult to double team, and I still don't know why people try to take the ball away from Lowry as low and powerfully as he dribbles.
All right, again, CBS Sports Line is your destination for complete tournament coverage. Get bracket updates, video highlights, expert analysis for each tournament game. CBSSportsLine.com.
Jim, that point that I made before about not guarding Lowry, I don't mean I disrespect him in any way, shape, or form, but in the course of his time, he is not going to take the outside shot. But if you go out and press him, he'll get the screen as he is right here now. He blows by and creates an offense all himself.
You saw Brewer sit down with the 2 fouls. And over to Lowry, all that size, takes it away. Another foul on Cunningham, that's 2 on him. And Noah gives a little shout over to the Gator fan section.
Jim, the length of Noah is really causing a problem so far in this ball game for Villanova. It's one thing to be tall, but he's got length.
Right.
He plays 7 foot without question, and he can really run.
Right, it's not the height as much as it's the length. It's like Mr. Gadget. The ball goes up, but the arms just, he's the floor.
First team All-SEC player and destined to be really outstanding. That ball was tipped. Lowry's challenging Green out here.
Richard comes out to try to set the screen, and they switch off defensively. Green with 4 on the shot clock. Richard crashes in, puts it back up and in.
I see some real problems early in this ball game for the tremendous power advantage that Florida has in this one. And Villanova has been outstanding against the likes of Boston College. being able to match up okay, but in this one, they're having problems.
It's an 11-0 run for the Gators, their 35th time in the season with a run of that length.
Nothing is more powerful than the truth, and the truth is more Americans choose Chevy than any other.
During the Chevy NCAA March Madness event, Chevy Impala has more standard horsepower and better V6 fuel economy than Camry. Get a 2006 Chevy Impala LS sedan with an MSRP starting at $20,990. Or get it for less during the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. See your local Chevy dealer.
They're the most important part of any business. Will they be ready? Ready to build relationships? To solve problems and invent new products? Ready to make a difference? Software they will. Microsoft. Software for the people-ready business.
Introducing the miracle of fusion, a revolutionary technology and a unique idea come together to create new Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure, with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over. A precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, the precision of 1. The best shave ever, in manual or battery power. New Gillette Fusion.
Huh. Calories provide energy, but how much energy do you need? Powerade Option, the low-calorie sports drink. Calories provide energy, but how much energy do you need? Powerade Option, the low-calorie sports drink.
She's a prodigy.
She has the brains to murder.
You don't think I could have done it?
New CSI, Van.
What are these?
What does it look like?
No, this is a problem, Mark. Tell me how to help you.
New Without a Trace, CBS Thursday.
Jim Nance with Billy Packer, Jim Spinarkle here in Minneapolis, and our Southwest Airlines sideline report. This is a team, the Gators, Billy, won 17 straight to open the year. And again, it was a kind of a new team put together with the loss of David Lee and Roberson and Walsh. And Billy Donovan saying that his kids, his young kids, thought we just play, we'll win. And then they went through a little patch in the middle of the season, losing 3 straight. And they found out we have to go out and guard and defend. We can't just win with all that emotion and passion.
Surprisingly, in that 3-game stretch that they lost, overtime at Arkansas and then to Tennessee and then the University of Alabama, they have been really great at guarding the 3-point shot. In those 3 games, they gave up 46% from 3. And if you're Villanova, you've got to realize that that can be a weakness in this team. You got to look forward to taking some.
Nova 2 of 7 today behind.
Already had some good looks. They're doing a good job getting out on Foy.
Villanova has not scored in 3.5 minutes. Foy trying to end that streak. In is Clark, and he puts it up and in. Just coming off the bench, Shane Clark, freshman from Philadelphia, with the putback. And a steal. Lowry's second of the game.
What great anticipation by Lowry.
Drive it in. Clark again.
That steps.
On jumper, no. Horford get the outlet quickly to Green.
Lowry just sits back there. He has such great anticipation.
Humphrey with a 3.
Humphrey, an excellent outside shooter, the best on his Florida team. And he will take that look. Billy Donovan says, when you're open, I want you to put it up.
Set a Florida single-season record. Over 100 threes made on the season now by Lee Humphrey, the junior from Maryville, Tennessee.
It's his 102nd, Jim. That beats
Roberson had the record before, 99. There's Ray and Sheridan with another offensive rebound and a steal. Green read it, spins away from Lowry.
Humphrey on a jump shot.
Nope, he's going to drive in instead and score. And another timeout for Villanova.
These fast breaks will be available because Villanova's guards are crashing the boards.
A 16-2 stretch From Florida, led by Noah, leading.
Ted Ferguson, Bud Light Daredevil. Today for a Bud Light, I'll attempt a stunt that no man should ever perform. I'll go shopping with my girlfriend during today's game.
This stuff is so cute. I'm gonna go try it all on.
Hey, time! Yes! Oh, he's down! Ted, can you hear me? He's down. Everybody focus. All right, get it off. Clear, clear. Let's go. Who's winning? We are, Ted.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Oh.
I won't take all that they hand me down. 'Cause once I get started, I go to town. 'Cause I'm not like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. Like everybody else. Like everybody else. Like everybody else. Like everybody else.
We had a gig in half an hour.
But with my allergies, I wasn't all there. I just couldn't sing.
I told her, you need Claritin D.
And I got... Claritin D relieved my worst symptoms and cleared my terrible congestion and sinus pressure fast. And I wasn't drowsy.
Told you, nothing works stronger, faster, or longer.
Live Claritin Clear.
Introducing the new Chevy HHR. HHR, an American revolution. See your local Chevy dealer.
Well, there was one year where I almost lost the entire backyard to crabgrass, and I vowed that would never happen again. The following year, I did use Turf Builder plus Halts. It not only got rid of the crabgrass, but it also greened up the lawn and thickened it. But I didn't have the color that I wanted, and I did have the weeds. Look how thick it is. Look at the color of it. There are no weeds. I take the credit instead of Scott's. I call it Luby Lawn. I'm very proud of the results that I get from Scott's. And there will be no crabgrass.
Jim, you can see 56% to 29, but here is the key. If you're Villanova, because of this mismatch in size, you have got to start hitting some three-point shots because of this right here. The big men are going to get their twos for Florida. There is no answer for Villanova trying to match, so you have got to get your outside perimeter game going.
Well, back in play here with a 16-2 stretch here for the Gators. After we had 8 early lead changes.
Hartford is guarding Ray. Right away, if you're Villanova, you got to recognize that matchup. Get the ball to Ray.
Boyd blocked by Richard. And last touched here. It's going the other way. It's going to Florida. Florida's brought in by 33. And again, this is the final piece to the puzzle. LSU, UCLA in one national semifinal. And which team will take on George Mason? George Mason in overtime over Connecticut. That gives us now, Billy, 5 of the last 7 regional finals going back to last year have gone into overtime, with 2 of them this year.
And almost went into a double overtime. Of course, that would have been a 3, huh?
Yeah, Denton Brown's shot was for the win. He stepped back, created separation, and there's a travel call against Adrian.
Take a look at the matchups right here. Some big man for Florida has got to take one of the guards from Villanova. Whoever has that matchup, he's the one who ought to have the ball in his hands.
Jason Frazier in. He threw it back out to Nardi.
Didn't stay with the shot.
Nardi's getting those open looks.
Yeah,
He's only hit 1 jumper.
Jim, when you lose your confidence, what you have a tendency to do is to bring your hands down and staying up and following through with the shot. That's Nardi's problem right now.
That's Huertas taking his first shot of the read.
Perfect pass.
That barely made its way through a couple of Gators in traffic.
Good call, Jim. Almost. That was right our angle right there.
Yeah.
2 Florida players were within like 3 inches of picking that ball off.
Noah doesn't get the call. Moss pulls it down and back out to Horford. This is really a sizable lineup on the floor for Florida. And 3 seconds. And Ray.
Billy Donovan can't believe the call. And there you see that perfect pass, Ray making the catch on the run. Sheridan's going to sit down. And now Villanova back with the 4 guards. That means that Villanova is going to have 2 big men that are going to be guards. Noah's on Lowry. Horford is on Nardi.
On Ray, jumper.
Instead,
out. Moss pulls it away.
Instead, what happens to guard? Players have to recognize the mismatch.
Humphrey weaving through traffic, setting up Horford, and a foul. No, offensive foul against Florida, against Horford.
Pretty good job by Ray holding his own inside. Now, Villanova likes to play with a lot of passion and a lot of movement, but right now they have to sit back, find out where the mismatch is, and take advantage.
33
Horford will take Frazier. Horford is now on Nardi. They're going to say until Nardi proves he can make a shot.
Lowry with a nifty move, and Frazier with a big board. Comes flying through, kicks it out. Nardi blocked by Noah. Second block of the game.
Steps.
And he traveled. A break in the action here. Gators with the lead at 27-18.
America loves trucks. Chevy trucks. Real trucks built to take on the real world. We're talking about the 2006 Silverado half-ton crew. It's got more horsepower and more payload capacity than crew cabs from Ford or Dodge. Long live Silverado. See your local Chevy dealer.
Onions, mushrooms, pepperoni. Pepperoni, mushrooms, mushrooms.
Pineapple sausage ham. Ham, cheese, pepperoni.
Pineapple sausage, green pepper.
Yes.
Pepperoni, sausage, black olives.
Mushrooms, onions, cheese. Mrs. Stevens.
Mushrooms, ham, sausage. Green pepper, onions, ham. Sausage, mushrooms, thank you.
The possibilities are endless with the 5-5-5 deal. 3 medium 1-topping pizzas, $5 each. Get the door. It's Domino's.
Phone bill.
Vonage is $24.99 a month.
For local and long-distance calling.
It's a better home phone service.
Voicemail, caller ID, call waiting are all included in the price.
The voice quality's great.
I can keep my same phone and phone number.
Vonage has low international rates.
It's easy.
Vonage, leading the internet phone revolution.
Over 3 years, I got you a great discount. Okay. And I even got you a discount for having your airbags.
Booyah!
And because you have your renter's insurance with us, you save even more. Now you're covered, so to speak.
Boom, baby, Yankee! Buy me. Oh! Oh! We good.
Join our 40 million fans as State Farm salutes NCAA March Madness. Call an agent today.
Official U.S. PlayStation magazine, bar none. Yahoo Video Game says one of the most spectacular action titles to grace the PS2. Motor Trend writes most realistic driving simulation game on the market. And Stephen Chow of Baker, California says at just $19.99, I'll actually have money left over for deodorant. Man, is that gross. PlayStation 2's latest greatest hits, rated E through M, Gran Turismo 4, and God of War, now $19.99.
We are back, and again, for a story to make it to the Final Four. Let's forget the perhaps. It is George Mason. And you look at the list of teams that beat to go to the Promised Land. It is going to Indianapolis. It had never won a tournament game before this year.
Well, Jim, I didn't have them in the Final Four, I can assure you that, but neither did anybody in the AP poll. You know, they didn't get one single vote in the AP Final Top 25 poll. A team like Connecticut was second with 1,709 points, so I don't think many people around the country gave them much. A great thing about this tournament, you have to earn it, and they have.
That's all Frazier. There was a lot of scrutiny about George Mason because a lot of folks thought that Hofstra, out of their conference, which had beaten them twice late in the season, coached, I might add, by Tom Pecora, the former Jay Wright assistant at Hofstra. And, well, now you look at it and say Hofstra should have received maybe a little more consideration. But
you'll never know, huh?
It's a journey that you look at each one of the wins and I can't wait to see him. That's Humphrey with another long rebound out to Horford. Green swatted away Frazier. Then Lowry's breaking. And that's a reach in.
And goes.
Well, if they may, well, they counted it on the far side. Eddie Hightower was closer to it. I thought they may say the foul was first before the shot, but they're going to count the hoop.
Jim, I definitely think he was in the act of shooting. That ball was on the way to go up. The foul came from the backside. You can see it right there. He was definitely going in the act of shooting.
With his first and Lowry to the line.
You know, Frazier's having some impact since he came in here. Remember last year he had the career game, the season game last year, 21 points, 15 rebounds in 30 minutes.
Against Florida.
Against Florida, yes.
Florida. He had that huge, as you said, 21 and 15 performance in the second round win. But hearing from Jay Wright yesterday, he said Frazier has had an extra bounce here in the last week. They kind of set him up as far as training and working him out to be able to try to be as fresh as possible and be an X-Men.
A lot of switching going on right now from Villanova. Nice double down by Frazier.
And Sheridan unable to stop that one.
Well, if you're going to double down by Frazier, that means that Horford's going to be open. But he almost had to do that because Noah had good position.
Horford has 8. Noah was 7. Leading to the points in the paint. Decisively to the advantage of the Gators. That's Ray. Nice move, but it spins out. And his man, Green.
Beautiful decision by Horford. The kind you can throw away sometime. Instead, he knew he didn't want to put it down underneath the other team's basket. Rather take it out of bounds with him. Smart player.
Green open and hit on the shot by Allen Ray. He'll get 3 at the line. And you can go to mycokerewards.com/NCAA to play championship run 2006.
I think that Ray was kind of surprised that Green was pulling up to take that shot. He caught him off guard a little bit defensively.
That's 2, Billy, on Allen Ray.
Green will shoot 3.
You know, Villanova was down big Friday night, down as many as 16, in fact, in the first half.
25-9, and looked like it was going to build for Boston College. They did a good job coming back. It's hard to get away from this team, but they're going to have to start figuring out ways to get their three-point shot looks a little better.
They closed out that first half at about this point run, and then won it in overtime. Nardi returns. Frazier out.
Green was the MVP of the SEC tournament, which this Florida team won. And one of the things they did impressively, Jim, in that SEC tournament, they beat a team called LSU 81-65. And we know what LSU has looked like in this tournament. Quick, long, aggressive, tough to defend.
And of course, there is that chance that they could all hook up again. But that matchup wouldn't be in championship game. Opposite sides of the bracket. LSU already ticketed to the Dome in Indianapolis. Well, it's overtime win against Texas. Now Lowry. Cunningham tips.
Horford.
They call a tie-up. Arrows going back to Florida.
Now, Horford is strong and quick on the inside. He and Brewer are 2 players that did play here that 3 men graduated on, and 60% of the offense left with them.
It's Chris Richard coming in, junior from Lakeland, Florida, former high school teammate down in Lakeland with Rashad Anderson. Those 2 thinking they would maybe hook up in the national semifinals, but UConn is out. Eliminated today in overtime.
With Noah out of the ball game, you're going to find Richard not coming back to help against that press, but so far Villanova really hasn't aggressively pressed.
Play in the first half. And Horford.
He's picked up every loose ball in this game.
Yes, he has. He's gotten blocks and rebounds too. He's got 2 on the shot clock. Baseliner, no. Huertas
Still
inside and gets the roll. David Huertas.
What happened to Villanova there? They heard the shot clock horn go off, but it did not go off until a possession was taken by Florida, so they're wide open shot inside.
Freshman from Puerto Rico just kept on going with the largest lead, 12, and a push-off called against Huertas. Coming up singular at the half. Greg, Clark, and Seth will hear from the whole George Mason contingent about making it to the Final Four. That's coming up on the singular at the half. Plus John Brady. from LSU.
I was talking with Dave Gavitt last week about George Mason, and he said, I'm really pulling for him. It kind of surprised me, but I did not realize at that point that Jim Larrañaga was a captain, an outstanding player up in Providence.
Jim Larrañaga now really stepping into the Gene Hackman role from Hoosiers. You know, we'll be going to the land of Hoosiers, where the Milan High School championship of '51 is still celebrated and recognized, and their performance Milan-esque here for the NCAA, and sending a message to 334 Division I teams that, hey, anyone can do it.
Well, last year it was led by Larry Bird, but not quite the same.
No,
Larry
they were
Bird's team
seed.
was #1, you know, so a little different.
Timeout called by Florida. Humphrey hits the 3. Gators up 10.
To know that that's what they're getting into. They're not going to make money, but you can get other things out of it. Producing feature films, and this is like the first short. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get something out of it. You're going to have to suck some of it up. You're going to have to lay down whatever you have: credit card, personal, mom, dad, cousin. I don't know.
We don't have anything.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't believe that. Though. Everyone says that $100, $500.
We don't have that kind of money.
But I'm saying, but I think.
You know what I'm thinking about an avenue, Gil, is to talk to Michelangelo Antonioni and Fellini. You know.
All I'm saying at the end of the day, is when it's like, fuck, we can't make it.
Well, I think
At the end of the day, it's you or nobody. You're done. If me writing you a check for $100 help this guy get his film made, I'll write it right now. You know.
That is so nice.
Who do I make it out to?
I think you should make it out to him because we're starting a production.
I trust you. Whatever you think.
To a production company, and we're both. You know, he's
I'll
the
just put it in the
line
memo. Let me get to you to
Gen
Parker.
Park Productions, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't care. Do whatever's easier for you.
Gen Park Productions.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You'll be able to cash that?
Yeah.
Well,
you need an account. You have to have an account open in the DBA. I don't care.
Fine.
Whatever's easiest.
Are you sure
Gen
you don't
Park.
want to just put it in your name? Put it in the Gen
Oh,
Park
if he's
Productions?
okay with putting it in my name?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, Parker Cross.
I trust him. He's my line producer. Your $100 is most appreciated.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do it. Anything else?
Thank you. It's Henry Winkler, who's total icon. You know, to say that's great what you're doing. I mean, people that are successful that really approve of what you're doing, that's always nice.
Also, some of the...
They give you that...
I'm sorry.
No.
Ball games a lot.
Well, you're back. Jim Nance and Billy Packer, Jim Spanarkel here as well. And we haven't had a chance to review the wins yesterday by LSU and UCLA. Your thoughts quickly on those two victories?
I thought two very competitive basketball games, a lot of quickness, a lot of shot blocking ability. Jim, particularly coming from weak side. A guy thinks he's got a wide open drive, and then all of a sudden, here comes weak side help. Is extremely impressed.
As Richard pushing off, trying to get...
And how about that three-point shot by Davis? When you say, you know, you got to figure you'd be getting tired instead, and that's when you can't shoot. Instead, he just spotted her up out there and hit that big shot.
Looked like he's been making them like that all year long.
And doesn't take them.
Big baby going to Indianapolis. Boy, puts it up. Floater. No, look at Noah there. Again, the reach.
I think that Villanova would be much better served because of the shot blocking ability of Florida. Kick out, looking for their threes.
Nova shooting only 24% and having missed 18 of the last 21 from the field.
I mean, they've got such a great perimeter shooting team. I think Lowry on the drive and into kickouts. Is that going to be Lowry stepping under? It's the second time in this ball game he stepped under and got called for it.
Well, it's Lowry with his second foul. And a break in the action here at the Metrodome.
More Americans are choosing the great taste of Miller Lite. 2.5 million in just the last year.
Imagine 2.5 million new Miller Lite drinkers joined together across this great nation from coast to coast.
over the hills and prairies, across barren wasteland, united by great taste. That's good air. Through major metropolitan areas, across rivers and streams, through the mountains. Feel my feet, standing side by side from sea to shining sea. But after doing the math, we found that 2.5 million people, while impressive, would only get us halfway, landing us somewhere in the Midwest. But with more Americans choosing Miller Lite every day, you can almost smell the ocean from here. The taste revolution is calling. Pick up the phone.
Life insurance, loans, retirement. AIG.
Enterprise rental car for the game.
Yeah, they pick us up. Free.
Free pickup. They ought to be number one.
They are number one.
So if Enterprise is number one, why don't they have these?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Tomorrow.
We didn't kiss yet.
Dave's all new with Sharon Stone. And later this week, Ray Romano, Willie Nelson, Bill Banderas.
Whoa!
CBS Tuesday. Don't miss TV's #1 new drama. Yes! The Unit. CBS Tuesday after NCIS.
Billy, we haven't touched on the Bruins of Ben Howland heading back to the Final Four. That program lasted in '95, and they went on to win the championship in Seattle.
Jim, anybody who's ever watched the Ben Howland team play, and you know what he did in building that terrific program at Pitt, where he just made them so tough. And I remember going to some of the practices in his first year out there, and he said, we don't have the type of toughness that we think we've got to have here at UCLA to be good. Well, they've got that toughness now. He is probably, of coaches that I've observed over the years, you know, some guys can teach toughness, and I'm not talking about something cruel, mean, or something. They just can get guys to play hard-nosed basketball. He may be as good as there is in the country at that. Not that they don't do other things well, but that is really that team that he's taken to the Final Four. Congratulations.
And they'll be playing LSU in one of the semifinal games next Saturday at Sheridan from the outside. Green at the other end, hitting both ends of a 1-1, and Frazier back up with it, and he is knocked down. Florida's had a number of second chance opportunities and converted.
Well, Jim, you know they're going to get this with the overpowering inside game they have. I think right now, and it reminds me a little bit of what we saw against Boston College the other night. It was 0 for 9 for 3 in that first half, and they are not really looking for where they have the advantage in this ball game, and that is penetration and kick out to the likes of Ray and Foy and Nardi to get untracked here from the three-point range. That's where they have the advantage. They sure don't have it when they go down inside.
Frazier very coolly hits 2 for Villanova.
I guess he remembers that game last year. He's picking right up for him.
Yes, he is. And there is that bounce in what we talked about, that Jay, player coming off of 7 surgeries, 5 of them knees, addressing an arthritis issue. Not injured knees, arthritic knees. Noah.
Good patience by Noah. He realized Sheridan's a solid defender.
And Green. And there's another second chance. It's Huertas. He traveled, and it is called.
Just couldn't get his hands on that ball, but one of those long rebounds that normally are rebounds that Villanova picks off at 10.
Lowry is coming back in with 2 fouls. You know, we saw the other night, Jay Wright substitute so freely, offense, defense, too. And one time we had Villanova for over 70 substitutions. One player who never came out is this man right here, Randy Foy. Played all 45 minutes.
And never looked like he was tired. There's that pullback shot of his. And again, they're kicking out, but it's going out to big men instead of the guards.
Now what picks it?
Nardi, Lowry's not going to take shots, but Nardi's the guy that's got to look for open spaces when he sees penetration like that. Be a good idea to try to take Lowry if you're Humphrey, because he's got 2 fouls on him, and maybe you pick up the 3rd.
Green takes it to the paint and taken away by Foy. Tightrope action down the sideline, still motoring, and now doubled up.
There's the kick out.
Lowry, Noah challenges, no call. Frazier has it stripped. Green reaches in and then loses it.
Jim, Lowry is not going to take the outside shot. It's kind of amazing. He has taken 242 shots this year, only 8 of them three-point range. He's trying to take it into the guts of where Florida is so good at shot blocking with a... Last year, he was 5 for 22 from 3. When you have a player that's only taken 8 threes out of 242 shots, it pretty well defines his game.
22%, you saw it. That's all for Villanova. Working it inside, and Noah says no way. But a foul this time. Coming up after our road to the Final Four. 60 minutes tonight. And Tiger Bradley tonight. Tiger, as you've never seen him before. And the exclusive interview with Tiger coming up tonight on 60 Minutes.
Jimmy, really, and we've mentioned this before in regard to Frazier, it's amazing what this young man probably could have been had it not been for those injuries.
You're talking about a player that out of high school people had, the discussions about, hey, you don't even need to go to college.
He had 760 blocks in high school, in his career in high school. Obviously, he was a McDonald's All-American. The other day, a 24-15 game against Marquette as a freshman. I mean, he's had some huge games in his career. But the last one, of course, was that game against Florida in the NCAA tournament. But had it not been for the injuries, we'd be looking at an entirely different ball player.
Hopes to become a minister one day. There's Jason Frazier. Here's Hodge challenging Frazier, who says no. Frazier blocks it, and a foul on Hodge.
Both teams making very bad decisions with their guards, going right in, getting shots blocked.
Hodge hasn't played many minutes, but he has collected 3 fouls.
Well, Billy Donovan can afford that.
Yep, and Huertas has been seeing a lot of action off the bench. And that's Foy at the line for Villanova. Shoot 2, double bonus.
Shoot 2.
Villanova team just kind of like the Boston College game, where it looked like they were out of it completely, hanging in there, not playing their game. If you're Billy Donovan, that's got to make you a little nervous.
Randy Foy, one that perhaps you've heard about. His father died when Randy was just 3½. His mother disappeared after he graduated from kindergarten. They don't know whatever happened to his mother. He was raised by 2 grandmothers in Newark, New Jersey.
There's that 1-2-2 press.
6-0 run here by Villanova. Another late first half surge.
It's a full, about a 3/4 court zone press, and then they drop back to man-to-man.
Knocked to the floor by Huertas. And that'll send Nardi to the line for 2.
Green on the bench over there. Florida has gotten the lineup on the floor we did not see the other night very much, with Huertas and Hodge on the floor quite a bit. Brewer has not played many minutes. Green sitting on the bench as well, and Brewer's trying to get Billy Donovan's attention, but the coach is walking right by him and not giving him a look.
Again, 2 for Nardi. Just to finish that story on Foy, Jay Wright, his All-America, has a God-given ability to pick the right people to listen to. Someone asked him about his future as a basketball player. Jay Wright said he's going to be a great man, which I thought was a pretty fantastic thing for a coach to say about one of his kids. And Villanova now is down 5 after trailing by as many as 12 at one point.
Nice job by Nardi. Stay to that point.
Humphrey, and it's Frazier with another block.
Well, I'm beating kind of that dead horse again, Jim, but the guards from both teams do not understand how this game is being played. They're taking it right into the shot blockers and creating no offense.
Billy Donovan, like you said, Billy, he's over there saying, oh, no, he's back again. Jason Frazier, so limited all this senior season. And a long-range three. Look, gets it back. Hodge pitches it out to him. And with 8 seconds to go in the half.
Waiting for the screen as Humphries could probably going to want to take a jumper.
Gives it up to Horford on the drive off the glass. Nope, that's it. The half comes to a close with Villanova, a late rally. The last 7 points of the half to the Wildcats. After Florida led at 35-23. Gators do not score the final 4:24 of that half.
And trying one of those stare downs to officials and not working out too well. They're not giving him any attention.
Well, that's the end of the first half with the score. Florida 35, Villanova 30. We've got the George Mason celebration and post-game comments coming up. And CBS Sports continues after this message.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Met is sponsored by IBM, AIG, Mazda, and by Miller.
Marcus Williams has it. 50 seconds to go. The score to go. And one. The same thing happened against Washington when Mike Jensen fouled Marcus Williams at the end of that game. Oh, they got a push now. Had a chance. Right side, Denham Brown. Yes! Oh, my goodness! Yes! What can Brown do for you? Get to the two. Explode. Rebound, UConn. Denham Brown, 3 to go. Denham Brown for 3. No good. The dream is alive.
George Mason qualifies for the Final Four. First ever Colonial Athletic Association team to do so. 86-84. A short while ago, we spoke with Jim Larrañaga. I asked the coach if he feels he's representing all the little guys at the Final Four.
I've told our players, I don't know how many times, that we represent a lot more than just a basketball team. We represent a great university and a great conference, the Colonial Athletic Association, and we represent the president of George Mason University, Dr. Tom O'Connor, the people who have supported and created this program, and I'm especially proud of these young men who are surrounding me. I knew I was going to the Final Four. I didn't know I was bringing my team, though.
Hey, Jim, this is Seth. Frankly, I'm too excited to think of a question to ask Jai Lewis. I want you to turn to him next to you, stick the microphone in his face, ask him a good question that he can answer for America.
Okay. Seth Davis wants me to ask you a question, Jai, and audience, how good it feels to go to Indianapolis.
Well, it feels great. You know, we had a lot of haters right now, so we just shut them up. So we're moving on to the Final Four.
Jim, what about your whole team? Is Tony Skinn and Butler and those guys, is Butler going to sing for us? He sounded pretty good in pregame warm-ups.
I couldn't hear you, Seth. Hey, we need a little bit of quiet time here.
No, I'm asking him to make some noise. Lamar Butler in particular. What's he going to sing on the court in Indianapolis before the game starts?
What are we singing in Indianapolis? He wants to know, Lamar. On that kryptonite.
You know,
in the A.
Jim, this is a long way. This is a long way from just hoping to get into the tournament to all the way to Indianapolis, isn't it?
Well, you know, one of the things I told the team is we're very big into routines and following our routine. And my last message to them in the locker room before we took the court for the game is, I want to play baseball on Tuesday. That's been our routine leading into the tournament and last week. And I guarantee.
Meanwhile, on the short end of the scoreboard in a tough game to lose, UConn coach Jim Calhoun with our Mike Jaminski.
I feel terrible about the kids I just left crying, and I feel, even though it doesn't show, a great deal of elation for what the kids from George Mason feel right now, the whole school feels right now. It's a feeling that you know, I've known it a couple times myself, but not from that vantage point. So from the vantage point of what George Mason feels now, Jimmy Larrañaga, a good friend, and their kids who really deserve to win the. I tip my hat to them, and I'm going to root for them, unless they play Villanova.
UConn, the third #1 seed to be knocked out of this tournament. Time now for a look at one of the 4 finalists for this year's Naismith Trophy, presented by Singular. Clark, J.J. Redick.
20 points a game in the tournament in 3 games, 12 of 28 three-point shooting. Duke's all-time leading scorer and also the ACC's all-time leading scorer. J.J. Redick had a fabulous career at Duke.
He did indeed. Now you can be part of college basketball. Vote to 87654 to vote for the winner of the 2006 Naismith Trophy. The fans' vote counts for 25% of the total. Up next, we'll talk live with LSU's head coach John Brady and Glenn Davis when Singular at the Half continues.
Us to be where we are at this particular time is certainly a little surprising to me at this time of the year.
Coach, if you could, look ahead to the matchup with UCLA. What are you thinking in terms of what you guys need to do to beat them?
Well, honestly, after last night, we found out the UCLA score, and I don't really know a lot about them at this particular time. We made a commitment we were going to take today off because it's been pretty hectic for us in the last couple of weeks. So we're going to take it easy right now today, and we're going to get into UCLA tonight and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Glenn, I know you're a little bit young to remember the story days of John Wooden and UCLA, but you guys have a lot of pride about going up against so-called big-name schools. What are your thoughts going into a game against UCLA with all its great tradition?
You know, it's a privilege to play a team with such great tradition, and you know, it's just another task at hand. You know, we don't look at the name on the jerseys. You know, we just go out and we just play ball like we know how to play ball.
Glenn, I saw you back in January when you guys played Connecticut. How surprised are you that you guys are where you are at this point?
You know, I'm not surprised at all, you know, because I know the talent that we have on this team and the hard work and commitment that we have, you know, to get the task done. So, you know, we're a young team. We're learning, you know, and you know, and what can I say? We're here, you know.
Coach Brady, Glenn Davis, thank you both very much. All that talk about bringing crawfish to Indianapolis, just bring enough for everybody. Thank you very much for joining us.
We're doing that right now. Okay.
Thanks very much, folks. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching Singular at the Half. Back out to Jim and Billy in Minneapolis for the second half after this.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half. Singular, raising the bar.
Why right here? You've got Foy 2 for 7. You've got Ray 2 for 7. Look at, nothing is out on the perimeter. If you are Villanova, the big advantage you have is on the perimeter. You're only 2 for 8 out there, and you've taken 38 shots, 30 of them inside, and only 8 shots outside. You have got to get your perimeter game going, and if you're Florida, Noah has 4 shots like that. He's got to get a lot of touches. Didn't get him in the first half. Let's see what the adjustments are by the coaches.
All right, Villanova with that late rally and a sloppy pass here, somehow saved and then off the leg of Foy. Nardi did a good job to save it. Foy in a tough spot to try to pick that one up.
And in fairness, we've got the game winner man back out on the floor. Brewer, who in the first half picked up 2 fouls and basically sat about 2/3 of that first half. Only got in 6 minutes.
And Lowry is out here on the floor with 2 for Villanova. And Ray defending with 2 as well. There's Brewer. Brewer hits the 2-point basket.
You get 6 minutes out of a guy who's your best defender, co-defensive player of the year in the SEC. And we saw him hit the unbelievable winning shot the other day in traffic.
That breaks a 5-minute field goal drought for the Gators. But trying to end one of its own.
See what Brewer's doing? He's staying at the foul line. He's letting Lowry have the ball outside. I think that's a terrific idea by Billy Donovan. Don't guard him on the perimeter. Make him come to you.
Here's Brewer again, and a foul, and the basket counts.
Jim, almost the same kind of shot as before, in traffic, spinning.
You mean the one from the other night?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing you can duplicate that one.
Yeah,
but he was hit, and this one.
Wow, out goes Ray in a hurry, and in comes Frazier, who had a pretty good first half.
Second personal. Basket
so Jay Wright's going to have a little word with Ray, who's been trying to guard Brewer, who hits 2 quick field goals, unable to convert the 3-point play.
Frazier in that first half, 8 minutes in the game, 4 points, 4 rebounds. Pretty solid.
Couple of blocks. Foy hits the 3.
That's where Villanova has to go ahead and say, you get your 2 inside, we're going to get our 3 outside.
That's their first basket in 8 minutes, 12 seconds. Noah.
You see Lowry push
Well, here he is pushing it up the floor. Nardi. And there's Foy. Anticipation.
Nardi, who was up over 40% from the outside during the course of the year, has just been in a funk in this tournament. Ever since that tonsillitis, he really hasn't bounced back, Jim, to his old self.
Hit a couple of baskets early in this one. Ball squirts out of the hands of Foy. Sheridan calls timeout to save the possession. If they had eventually tied him up. Villanova ball. Gator leads. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Tiger Woods with Ed Bradley. He'll tell you who taught him all this competitive toughness. His mother, and you'll hear from Clotilda. Followed by a new cold case and CSI and Without a Trace special night here on America's #1 network. Which way is this going? On Foy, and that's number 3 on Randy Foy.
That time by Brewer. He stayed in front of Foy, didn't reach at all, moved his feet instead of his hands. Sign of terrific defensive play. And as strong as Foy is turning that corner, Brewer just outplayed him there. Brewer's got a lot of energy coming into the second half.
Yes, he was able, as you said, to conserve with a couple of early fouls, and he has had quite a start to the second half. 3 baskets.
He was trying to get Billy Donovan's attention, Jim, in the last 10 minutes of that first half. Every time he walked in, so he sat all but 6 minutes in that first half. He's come out on fire here.
Yeah, he's got all 6 of the Gator points in this half.
And he's taking his challenge with Foy with those long arms of his to try to hold down the All-American.
Foy still on the floor with 3. Interesting, Alvin Ray still on the bench, Billy.
Yeah, he is, and not getting the playing time that he needs in this ball game.
Frazier blocked by Noah. Second chance. Pull it up. Will they count it? A little tap play.
Gotta admire this guy.
They do. Count the basket.
Giving everything he can for this team. I really admire him despite all the physical handicaps.
How about that?
What heart here. One of 11 children who was destined for superstardom and then handicapped by the injuries, but he's putting out here today.
He's got 5 offensive rebounds and completes the 3-point play.
That's 7 points. He may be on target, Jim, for a 20-point, 15-rebound game.
Here. He was the one who really killed the Gators in that second-round matchup. And a reach in here on Lowry, and now he has 3. 3 on Lowry and 3 on Foy.
Lowry, they made the switch there to try to get somebody on Brewer. Lowry giving up a lot of size here. Brewer is a lot stronger the way he plays than what he looks physically.
And trying to run Alvin Ray to the table to check in before the ball was inbounded. Didn't get there in time. Next whistle, he's in. Now here's Frazier. He's on a guard. It's Brewer spinning.
See the height advantage he's got when he goes in there?
Put back Horford.
Well, Lowry normally can stay with a guy, but Brewer's playing right over the top of him. Florida is taking the ball inside where it belongs, and so far we haven't seen Villanova be able to penetrate and kick out.
Good boy. Brewer right on him. We'll take him in.
Yeah, you're taking him into the shot blockers, though.
And Lowry, as you pointed out Friday night, not a 3-point shooter, penetrator.
See, but what Florida's doing, they're letting him just come out in the inside.
Boy, beautiful with 1 second on the shot clock.
Very smart play on his part to pull up and take the floater.
Boy, now with 16 of the 38. Humphrey, they found him in the corner. Rattles out. And
see if Lowry tries to take it right inside.
Boy, 3. Slides off the rim. It's Noah. He had the box on Sheridan. Humphrey, same spot. This time, no. This is 2 from that area. Nardi awaits the rest of the Wildcats. Alvin Ray's been waiting a long time to get back into this game.
Well, and of course, the reason he's over and pick up his 4th foul. Oh, boy, what a mistake by Horford, leaving Foy wide open.
Sets up Sheridan, missing the open baseliner.
Can you imagine leaving a man with the ball, happens to be a first-team All-American, to go guard somebody else?
Wow. Timeout called by the Gator bench. Florida leading by 5, having big performances on the inside, including Al Horford. Piece of the puzzle to be solved. Will it be Villanova or Florida against George Mason? As George Mason, the Patriots today make history.
Well, Jim, you know, for me right away, it's already a history lesson. You think back of what other teams made runs, not exactly like this. I'm going back 1944, Utah. Arnie Farron, they lose in the NIT, get invited to replace Arkansas to play in the NCAA. Didn't even think they were going there. Went through in a train to Kansas City, ended up winning the national title. So there are going to be some stories that you can weave in this George Mason. What a play.
Great one with Arnie and that Utah team, but this one's the best I've ever heard of. What the putback.
Florida has gotten their act together in this second half. They say, you want to play us in the paint? We're too big for you. The only way Villanova can counter on this is to start penetrating and kicking out and getting their three-point game going. Ray's in the ball game now. Foy's out. And Ray has to get started with his shooting.
Horford has a double-double with and Ray spinning, looking for a shot.
Tough shot.
Cunningham tips it over, but it's Humphrey of the Gators there.
I think Ray's getting a little frustrated, Jim. He's got to start kicking that ball back out, looking for his good jump shot.
Noah. To Hodge, back to Horford. And this one is going against Villanova. And this is a big one. It's number 4 on Lowry.
Wow. Used his body even against a man as big as Horford, and it cost him. That's 3 times he's been caught with undercut fouls.
Huge moment here. Lowry with 4.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Microsoft, KFC, Bud Light, and by State Farm.
About 14 minutes remaining here, and Lowry of Villanova collecting his 4th foul. Let's take a look at Powerades. Power in the paint, Billy.
Well, Hartford has really been the man in this ball game, putting it back up. Villanova has had no answer inside to the likes of Noah, who they're trying to go ahead and shade over on Noah. That's allowed Horford to not be blocked out, and he's taking advantage of it. But there was no question right at the beginning of this game. Tremendous advantage in the paint for Florida. Apparent advantage on the perimeter for Villanova, but you can see which team to superiority.
Obviously, Lowry has to sit 2 seniors, 2 freshmen on the floor for Villanova. And 3 seniors, I should say, with Frazier, Foy, and Ray. And on the baseline, he traveled to Noah.
You know, and Frazier has been the one thing that has kind of slowed it down just a little bit. Another nice play, taking that shot away from Noah.
Yep, he caused the turnover. And full court pressure is Ray looking to inbound. Lobs it to Foy and back to Ray.
Also 20, Jason Frazier.
Would usually be Lowry bringing it up.
And you know what that means. You've got your 2 great wing shooters are now having to spend time being the primary ball handler on the floor right now, because in effect Villanova's as big as they can get in this game.
Time and energy.
Yep.
Bouncing it in and off the fingertips of, they say, Noah. So it stays with Villanova, 11 on the shot clock.
Jim, you know, if this game were to continue like it's going, it wouldn't have to go all the way back to 1980. The last time we had a Final Four without a #1 seed in there. That could be back, though. UCLA was in that Final Four in 1980, but no #1 seeds.
And Cunningham scores, and he's fouled.
Right now, the only #1 seed alive is this Villanova team on the floor right now. Cunningham has had an outstanding tournament when they really needed him as well. He had 9 rebounds. 9 rebounds against Arizona, came in and had an outstanding. Boston College had 4 steals.
Look at Frazier tap it back. That was the 3rd foul, by the way, on Brewer. And another big play by Frazier. Foy cut it to 2. And Noah touched it last.
And Frazier made him work.
Vote for the Pontiac game-changing performance of this round. Nearly $150,000 of scholarship, and you can vote, influence it all at ncaasports.com/Pontiac.
Out of bounds played. Is this something that brings back memories?
Won it for him against Boston College in overtime. Inbounding it to Will Sheridan in the goaltend the decisive points.
Sheridan, Nardi, and Lowry, 3 starters on the bench.
Ray in front of the rim. He had a good look. So he had 2 shots, one from Foy, one from Ray to bring it down to 2 and drive it in.
And Jim, Ray last year in the NCAA tournament was 3 for 32, only 2 for 22 from 3, and he's having that saying he's really upset with himself. He's going to go back out. Nardi in. Jay Wright trying to get his star player consistent from the outside. He didn't want to come out of the ball game.
Well, he's got 3, and Lowry again out since the 13:56 mark with 4 fouls. And meanwhile, staying on the floor, Foy with 3 as well. Noah working on the freshman. Tipped up, no. Battle for it. Shane Clark of Villanova in there, and the jump arrow belongs with Florida.
Horford again getting his hands on the ball. 8 double-doubles this year, a second-team All-SEC player, but having a terrific game here today.
Noah, Billy, hit Florida's first 2 field goals of the game, but has not hit one from the floor since 17:30 remained in the first half.
He hasn't had offense by Villanova in the out-of-bounds situation.
Gators take the short break, the timeout, charge to Florida.
Official U.S. PlayStation Magazine raves best driving sim ever, bar none. Yahoo Video Game says one of the most spectacular action titles to grace the PS2. Motor Trend writes most realistic driving simulation game on the market. And Stephen Chow of Baker, California says at just $19.99, I'll look for deodorant. Man, is that gross. PlayStation 2's latest greatest hits, rated E through M, Gran Turismo 4 and God of War, now $19.99.
Well, Jim, you take a look. Lowry, Foy, and Ray, 4, 3, and 3 in a foul situation. We're talking about the 4 guards are 80% of the offense. 3 of the 4 now sitting on the bench. They can't score from there.
Well, Foy stays out there. And still a lot of, certainly a major issue for Jay Wright's side.
And 3 of Lowry's 4 fouls were all in the defensive end, trying to get underneath people on drives.
And that one thrown away.
That'll be Villanova ball.
It will. Break in the action, under 12. 45-40 Florida. There's one stat here that says it all, really, Billy.
It really is. Field goal shooting percentage from Villanova. Now, Jim, you and I were sitting here. We both kind of thinking exactly the same thing during that timeout. It seems like Villanova's 10 down, but they're hanging in there. Give a lot of credit for Jay Wright to have confidence in his veteran ball club. Stay close and then be able to come back in with Lowry back out on the floor right now and see if he can't get his firepower working.
So Ray returns, and Foy brings it to 3. You said 10. It felt like they maybe were even down by more than that.
And there's Foy with that step-back shot inside. He's so powerful.
Oh, and a travel call against Florida going right back to Villanova.
It just seems impossible that Villanova is just down 3, shooting 24%. They don't turn the ball over. They've gotten to the foul line and made them today. And they have Ray not being a factor in this game as he was not the other night.
Talking about Allen Ray from the field.
We're talking about a 2,000-point score here sooner or later. He has got to get started.
He was trying to draw the foul with that one, putting it up wildly from behind. A theft is made by Cunningham.
But Frazier can't take that ball the rest of the way.
Boy, he can tie it. That one's wide, and Green retrieves it. Looks ahead, snaps it down court. Horford makes the catch. And Nardi reaching in with the foul.
Well, Jim, you covered NFL football. One of those deals where the defensive halfback just not big enough to handle that receiver. Horford goes way up in the air over Nardi.
Coming back in, Will Sheridan. And Frazier. They keep shuttling him in and out, and he is performing at a high level. And the Gators to inbound underneath. Humphrey. Drive, beautiful drive, unable to make the short one. Foy leading the Villanova charge. It was
tipped,
and it stays with the Wildcats.
Good job by the official there to see that tip.
Joakim Noah returning.
And now if you're Florida, you've got to get Noah going offensively. This has been a game of contrast. Interesting to see these two confident coaches staying with their game plan. Now can they get their team to execute? As you pointed out earlier, Jim, Foy played 45 minutes the other night. Seemed to be tired at all.
Going all the way. It's Nardi. And over the top, Florida ball.
Not the shot Villanova wanted.
And they bring Frazier back with Cunningham to the bench. Tuesday after NCIS, over 31 million viewers have discovered TV's #1 new drama. It's The Unit. Catch a new episode Tuesday on CBS after NCIS.
Jay Wright has seen enough. He's coming back in with Lowry with the 4 fouls on him. He's going to probably start playing this game like he did the ring, in and out.
How about that? With about 10 minutes to play, he's ready to return him with the 4 fouls.
And one little instruction he better give him, and that is the fact that don't try to pick up that 5th foul playing tough defense. You just have to stay in front of people.
7 on the shot clock. Green's aware of it. Puts up the floater. Banks it home. Beautiful shot by Florian Green.
Breakdown defensively by Foy. That was a big shot, Jim. Shot clock was helping Villanova in that case. Brewers now on Foy.
Ball loose. Back to Ray. 3-point shot. No. Still off.
And the answer is to keep shooting. You're too good a shooter. Stop putting it up there.
Brewer on the drive. Draws the action. And it'll go against Nardi. That's his second. And it's a 1-and-1. Here comes Lowry in for Foy. Now Foy gets a breather, Billy.
Yeah, the guy that's got to stay on the floor now has got to get his shot going. He maybe even get to the foul line is Ray. He just doesn't have any confidence, any rhythm whatsoever today. And we're talking about a guy that, Jim, is too big a score. He averages 18.7 a game and just not there.
So Brewer hits the big front end.
You know what amazes me about this young Florida team? Everybody knows they've got 5 guys that score in double figures. Do you know that not one of their starters has an assist turnover ratio that's not positive? That is very unusual. They're big guys, more assists than turnovers. All 5 starters are that way. Pretty solid.
And they've got 3 players in double figures today. As Billy Donovan will tell you, everybody on this team is on the same page, especially defensively. What the coach says. Lowry puts it up off the glass, tipped around, and Richard has it. Snaps the outlet to Green.
Numbers.
Yep, Humphrey gives up the 3-point try, and Noah is hacked on the way up.
Might have been asking for the basket there as well, but doesn't get it.
Well, that's a second on Sheridan. So
we talked about the numbers Noah was putting up in the previous games: 16, 8, and 7, 5 blocks, 3 steals in South Alabama, 17, 8, 6, and 4 blocks against University of Wisconsin Milwaukee. This fella has really had some lines, but today he's been kind of quiet.
His father went into the Hall of Fame earlier in the Tennis Hall of Fame, and talking yesterday, Joakim to the media saying he hopes that if they make it to the Final Four, his dad will come over from France and be there next week in Indianapolis if they're there.
Well, Coach Thompson told us that they talk after every game.
Yes, they do. And here's the foul as Lowry, they're trying to draw that 5th. This one going against Brewer. And for Brewer, he has for Yannick, his dad, watches the games. He goes to a studio. He's in a studio right now in France where they're down so he can watch it.
And Jim, do you have a lot of tapes from Zam Zam?
That's his band.
Yeah.
He sells out stadiums over in Europe, all through
you
Europe.
dodged my question.
Do I have a tape? No. I've got the CD.
Oh, you do? Okay.
You're still in the old album age. Boy picks up the shot and draws the foul.
That's why he's so tough to guard, and the fact that he altered that. You see this Florida defense. For some reason, Nardi still can't get the point that you're not going inside against these shot blockers. Ray makes a tough fadeaway try. Villanova has never gotten into their penetrate kick-out game today.
4th team foul.
Talked about earlier, and 2 shots coming for Foy. How he was raised by 2 grandmothers. His grandmother Ruth grandmother Betty Foy's grandmother Ruth Martin, who Final Four. Do something she's never done before, afraid of flying, never been on a flight before, but she promised him if they make it to the big dance, she's coming. And he's excited about that possibility. Hits the 2 free throws.
But when the ball's in his hands, Villanova feels pretty comfortable.
And Lowry went for the steal. It's Green. 3. What a shot.
You know, Green will take shots quickly. And the defense, and that's the second time today in particular that he's taken a jump shot before the defender was
back up to a 10-point lead, and Green has hit 2 big ones in the last 90 seconds. The one in the lane off the glass, and then the 3-point shot.
And you see where Hodge is playing Lowry. They're not going out and playing him out there. They're waiting for him to come to them. Good strategy by Billy Donovan.
Boy, dish, Frazier, fouled. Noah reaching in. Or was it Hodge?
Gator foul on 15.
They're calling on a Hodge. That's his 4th. And again, LSU, UCLA, and those 3 are ticketed to Indianapolis. And, well, there you see it. They've already established that the late game will be the UCLA-LSU contest, with the winner of this one and George Mason up first.
2 extremely young teams with a lot of length, terrific shot blocking ability and athleticism. Looking forward to that one.
George Mason will be looked at so many different ways this week. Ultimate underdog, something this tournament has always really stood for, espoused the role, the chances of the little dog, and we have the all-time underdog going to the Final Four. 60 minutes coming up next, and to think that they beat the last, it's going back to Villanova, the last 2 national champions on the way to get there.
I didn't think that anybody in a week and a half's time could beat a Michigan State, a North Carolina, Wichita State, and a Connecticut. I don't care what team it was in the country. That is some tall off that foursome in 2 weekends. Terrific job.
And what made it most special of all, again, yes, they did not win their conference tournament. That was North Carolina Wilmington, but the committee took a chance on them, and a major win for them as well, and they're to be commended. With a lot of guts. Here's Ray, stuck. And Villanova with under 8 minutes to play. Every possession now so crucial. Ray off the glass.
Great shot. That could get him on
his first field goal since the 9-minute mark of the first half.
It wasn't a jump shot, but it is a score.
Now you said, Billy, keep putting it up. You implored that must be the strategy. Green to the corner. Humphrey. Foy able to chase it down.
Nardi open down here,
but no numbers. Ray, tough shot. He did not have both feet set, and Noah with the rebound. Sheridan reach.
And Jay Wright showing his hands up and telling Ray, just take it easy, keep shooting.
And now the 3rd on Sheridan. A break here in Minneapolis. Tonight on CBS, you just saw him, Tiger with Ed Bradley tonight. Then a new cold case, and CSI and Without a Trace on a special night on America's #1 network.
That's what Alan Ray feels like right now. Without a trace, he cannot hit a basket.
True, from the outside, he had that one driving shot.
And Jay Wright just told him, he was giving him the hand signal, just be calm, keep putting that ball up.
A 1-and-1 for Noah coming up. 12 rebounds so far, and that's a career high, Billy.
He has a very unusual looking foul shot, however.
Side spin on it.
Yeah, it's a side spin, and something, you know, he's done so much to improve himself since last year. We talked about how little activity at the end of the season. If there's anything he has to work on in his game is to change the way he shoots that foul shot.
Although the results worked out quite well that time.
Yeah, they went in, but that'll work against you over time.
Back for the game, he's now 7 for 7. Foy in the traffic and drawing the action.
Foy is tremendous at using his upper body to go ahead and push it into people and then to get the shot off.
He's going to shoot 2 shots. We talked so much about Jason Frazier's performance against Florida last year. Well, in the next round, the round that Villanova got knocked out by North Carolina, that was really the game maybe changed his career where the light turned on for Randy Foye. He had 28 in the loss. The confidence, though, from that performance carrying over all season long this year to the Big East Player of the Year, first team All-American.
He was all Big East tournament last year. Then he made that all Syracuse region as well. Even though his team was not in the finals.
This is the second one. Under 7 minutes to play, and it's an 8-point lead for the Gators. They've been to the Final Four, 94, under Lon Kruger, and then Billy Donovan took them there in 2000. They made it all the way to the championship night before bowing to Michigan State.
That 94 team knocking off Boston College, the team that Villanova just beat. Sooner or later.
Yep, Humphrey hits the three, and a double-digit lead.
A new record holder, seasonal three-point shooter. Jim, it was a matter of time. And you know, you credit again Billy Donovan in that one. You've got a shooter that's cold, but you know he's got a good percentage. You let him to keep shooting that ball up. There's an elbow.
Yep, down low, called on Huertas. And that's his third. It'll send Nardi to the line for 1-1.
Not a good foul. You've got a nice working margin if you're Florida. You don't want any cheap baskets with the clock stopped for Villanova.
You know, Lowry is the Villanova. Again, he came back just inside of 10 minutes with the 4 fouls. He's sitting right now. 1-1.
He'll be back in here within the 5-minute mark, though. Villanova just keeps hanging around, and that three-point shot by Humphrey was really a big one for Florida.
Yes, it was, and Green hitting 2 big baskets in a 90-second stretch right around the midway point of this half. Gave him a little comfort.
The big man takes it down court.
To the other big man, and he is knocked to the side by Sheridan.
You know, Billy Donovan talked, Jim, I know you heard it, about how Horford is the smartest player that he's coached. That was just great decision-making by Horford. Nobody to pass to, put the ball on the floor, and then ultimately made the perfect pass.
And that's 4 now on Sheridan,
who has been very quiet in this game.
Yeah, talking about Billy Donovan, you think of all the players he's had come. And saying that Al Horford is the smartest he's ever had. And you saw it as he pushed it ahead, dribbled past a number of Wildcats, and fed Noah, who continues to hit the free throws.
You know what impresses me with a statement like that, Jim, is the fact that Billy Donovan was a outstanding mental thinker of basketball as a guard. Very seldom you hear a guard compliment a big man as the smartest player that he's ever coached. And Billy, as everybody knows, was the Southeast region. He took Providence to the Final Four, so he knows what it feels like for these guys on the floor right now in his Florida team.
Yeah, he was asked yesterday, Billy Donovan, being a former Big East guard, where would you put Foy and Allen Ray? And he said, probably behind me. And everyone laughed at that. But he was one of the best ever.
Foot race.
Noah way outside first.
Noah with the ball in his left hand, going full speed after making the steal. Pretty talented. Look at this, all left hand on this play, and finishes.
But the foul way back before the shot.
Well, the official's wondering, hey, Jay Wright, why do you think you've got a timeout situation over here? He thought it was the 5th foul on somebody, but I don't think it was.
It was actually called on Clark, Shane Clark, his first.
So now he is taking the timeout.
So timeout called by Villanova. The Gators remain in control. 5:55 from going to the Final Four.
Well, there was one year where I almost lost the entire backyard to crabgrass, and I vowed that would never happen again. The following year, I did use Turf Builder plus Halts. It not only got rid of the crabgrass, but it also greened up the lawn and thickened it. I used the cheaper brands, but I didn't have the color that I wanted, and I did have the weeds. Look how thick it is. Look at the color of it. There are no weeds. I take the credit instead of Scott's. I call it Luby Lawn that I get from Scott's. And there will be no crabgrass.
But are we in a double bonus?
Okay, there you see it is, with 11 team fouls on Nova. So there will be a 2-shot situation coming for Joakim Noah.
And Jimmy, you pointed out he's 7 for 7 from the foul line, but the very unusual way he positions the ball in his hands, shoots kind of like a sidewinder.
9 for 9. He just keeps on living at that line. Yeah, look at it, 71% on the season. And you know, there's a man here who used to look at his game, give him some advice, and that's John Thompson, who back in his days as the Hoya coach, there he is announcing with Kevin Harlan on CBS Radio Westwood 1.
Called him Frenchie, yeah?
Yeah, they knew him because he would come over from France, and through Donald Dell, it would be the connection through the tennis and the whole thing in the Washington area there. Father would bring him over to Coach Thompson's summer camps, and his nickname for him was Frenchie.
Coach Thompson, with a wink in his eye, said, believe me, if I'd have been coaching, he'd be playing at Georgetown.
Right. Oh, Frazier missing on the inside, and it's Horford running over to get the rebound. In fact, John Thompson III called up his dad and said, hey, you watching this Florida game, you see that big guy? You know who that is? That's the kid you used to call Frenchie. Knocked down by Frazier, and it's coming back to Villanova with the foul against Green.
Well, this has been a great game off the bench for Frazier.
60 minutes is coming up after basketball here on CBS. Billy, you said it the other day, with Tiger being featured here tonight, the Masters 2 weeks out. A lot on his mind these days with his father's health. And we pass along our best wishes to Earl Woods, his battle with Frazier hits the shot.
Those relationships, I understood today that there was a show about Pete and Press Maravich that preceded the game, and those relationships between coach and son who eventually go into sports are very special. That one between Press and Pete is one I was very much aware of.
That's a very similar parallel when you talking about Tiger, the vision that his father had, an incredible vision that couldn't dream that big, but Tiger has calming call coming back to Nova.
And considering, you know, with LSU getting the Final Four, I would say in all of my lifetime, those are probably the two closest parallels of a father putting so much into it, whose son actually became the greatest. You know, Pete, without question, the greatest scorer in the history of college basketball, and the greatest guy that I've ever seen with the basketball in his hands from a standpoint of scoring and passing. And of course, Tiger's reputation doesn't need anybody right here.
Foy hits the shot with 5 minutes left.
This has got to be a big push right now here for Villanova. If they're going to get back in it, they've got to do it this next 3 minutes. See Billy Donovan pulling the ball out some.
Humphrey, that's a three. Not this time, and it's Lowry out battling Horford for the rebound.
Yeah, the season record holder for Florida has probably had more good looks than he's had all season, just not hitting those threes.
Foy with a three. Frazier battling, and Green is off Florida. Noah getting a lot of action at the line and a career high in rebounds. Again, one of those complete lines we're saying with 14 points, 12 rebounds, 4 blocks.
He has been outstanding. Against Georgetown, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks. Every game.
Villanova now with Ray squeezing it back out to Nardi, bouncing it into Sheridan and rejected. And Florida comes out with it. Hodge, the two big guys, Noah and Horford. What a combo.
Well, you can give them both a block on that one, Jim. They were both there. They don't give you much inside.
We're giving the block to Noah, his 5th. Here he is in the paint. Back out to Hodge. That one's blocked by Lowry. And Horford gets it out for the reset with under 4 to play. 7 on the shot clock. Remember, Hodge's shot was blocked, so Green has to launch it. And the long rebound slips off the fingertips of Ray and Lowry.
And Green had just stepped over the back line, so it's not a backcourt situation for him. It's one of those kind, sometimes you're out there and don't realize where you're on the floor, but he was very wise to his location.
That's Foy defending. Horford dumps. Noah dumps.
Too much inside presence in this ball game. Villanova able to match him up in the paint.
Horford to Noah. Those two carrying the bulk of the load.
CBS Sports and Coca-Cola show how fans start it up.
My name's Sarah Tucker. I play flute in the UAB. The band is a major component. We get the crowd into it. We get the team into it. We get into it.
Yeah, we bring in the music. We bring in everything you want.
We don't only go to our school. We make it a part of ourselves. I'm Sarah, and we
Billy Donovan saying everybody is on the same page defensive day, turning out 24% field goal percentage by the opponent.
Jim, I really think that the game plan for Villanova broke down early in the fact that they didn't recognize they were going to have to drive and kick out and not try to take it into the paint and score. The shot blocker is just too big for him.
Out of the Nova timeout, Lowry missing the short one, and another rebound secured by Noah.
See the same game, Lowry having to alter his shot inside.
And Green content just to burn the clock. Noah.
Oh, beautiful.
What a nifty move.
And there he's got Foy on him and just played right over the top of him. Noah fired up down the other end of the floor. He gets into it, doesn't he?
He's got some kind of boundless energy, doesn't he? Ray.
Not in his, Horford just controlling everything.
15 rebounds for Horford, 13 rebounds for Noah. And that's a foul called.
That's Lowry's fifth, and he's out of here.
He's walking right in to the bench.
He committed 5 fouls today, 4 of which trying to draw charges.
Timeout on the floor. Florida in control.
Puts it up.
It's what draws the fans and keeps them wanting more. It's the thrill of the fast break, the freedom of the open lane. It's your blood pumping, your heart pounding, and knowing this is an experience unlike any other. Performance like this is simply unforgettable. Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
Hello. Hold on. It's for you. Hey. Later. Why do your friends keep calling my phone? Beats me. It's not because Singular has the fewest dropped calls, is it? Don't be ridiculous. Why do you even carry a phone? Because it's shiny.
Tired of dropped calls? Switch to Singular. Singular's all-over network has the fewest dropped calls of any wireless network. The leading independent research company proved it.
Love you too.
Singular, raising the bar.
For back pain
or sore knees,
you need more than support.
You need support and pain relief.
Icy Hot Pro Pain Relief together. Neoprene support braces hold cold inserts to reduce inflammation or hot inserts to relax away stiffness for up to 8 hours. Icy Hot Pro Therapy. Support braces that hold cold or hot inserts for lasting relief of back and knee pain.
Got no time for pain?
Team up with Icy Hot Pro Therapy. Count on it.
I'm just saying, girl, I am made to order.
What? What's going on? First you're selling yourself for $1 and now this?
Stop treating me like I'm on the kids menu.
Bringing some attitude to the new BK value menu.
It's over. Done. We nailed it. Real Coke taste with 0 calories. And now, before I lock up the secret formula, I'd like to share it with you. Share.
Coca-Cola Zero. Try it to believe it.
Your cat's in my garden.
All she ever said was,
What would you like my name to be?
got sexual.
They're desperate. Desperate enough to kill.
Score!
Catch a new survivor, CBS Thursday.
Well, Villanova had cut the lead to 3 at 45-42 with 11.5 to go, but Florida 21-12 after that.
Jim, when you look at this Villanova team, they only had 4 losses coming in here. Those losses had a common denominator, and that was how did they shoot for 3 in the losses. 7 for 30 against Texas, 7 for 24 in Pitt, all in losses. Today, 3 for 18. They did not get their perimeter game going. Florida had a big advantage on the inside in the paint. Florida played their game. Villanova did not play theirs.
Green with 2 at the line. And his father, we talked about Sidney earlier. Billy, you covered so much of his career there at UNLV. He enrolled his son in the University of Florida summer camp, Donovan, since he was in the 8th grade. A Gator years before his time in Gainesville, full time. Foy over Humphrey, tough shot, drops it for 2.
You know, another thing about Villanova, they went up against a team that punishes you the other day in Boston College. Now they're playing against a bigger team. I really think that Boston College game took an awful lot out of this team. They're just not the same level of energy. Same not there in this ball game today. And that's part of what I admire about what George Mason did. You know, think of Michigan State. I'm going back to that. Michigan State, North Carolina, Wichita State, Connecticut. You get punished and still advance. Survive and advance is the name of the game.
Green with 2. Well, that BC team will bang you up and bruise you.
Yeah, and I think it really took a lot out of this Villanova team. It's quite obvious. I've seen them play a lot this year, and they did not possess today the quickness they've had in other ball games I've seen.
Then you come back, though, you play a Florida team that also has the size of a BC, but ratchet it up.
Yeah, they don't punish you like BC does, but they've got quickness and probably even more length.
Ray with the 3. Got this one with 1:44 to play. It's still an 11-point margin. That's Brewer on the drive. Lost control of it for a second. Doubled up and stolen by Foy.
No quickness, All-American.
Ball on the floor with Sheridan, and the arrow will keep it with Villanova.
How about Frazier going right down on the floor, the big man? I hope his legs are okay, Jim.
No,
tangled in a web down there.
Yep, it's Frazier all over the place. And what a valiant effort for him on those gimpy knees. Villanova ball when we come back.
This is March Madness on wheels. Starts with the Pontiac G6, bringing more power than Mazda 6 and better fuel economy than Nissan Altima. Pontiac Torrent is the only one in its class with both a V6 engine and sport-tuned suspension standard. And each has a price the competition simply can't touch. Google Pontiac and check the stats for yourself. March Madness on Wheels is going on now.
Excuse me, you're still with your old brokerage firm?
I know, but I like being able to talk to somebody when I have a question.
We're spaced out by myself.
We moved our money to a TD Waterhouse online account. Their people really make us feel connected.
TD Waterhouse has investment consultants you can talk to when you have a question, so you're not out there all on your own. You can do this. Switch to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers.
Again, 60 Minutes is coming up right after this, except on the West Coast. On CBS, it'll be Villanova basketball on the inbound with 1:27 remaining.
Looking at Billy Donovan over there, some pretty select company. He's one of 7 people that have ever played in the Final Four and coached a team in the Final Four. Quite an accomplishment. The likes of Bobby Knight have coached and won games in that Final Four as well.
Chance now, just a minute and 20 away from going back for the second time. That's off the front of the rim and brought Ray again. Loads it up, misses it. Clark for a second time.
He's looking for Foy this time. Foy. Noah got a piece.
Put back for 2, it's Ray. So a scrappy possession for Villanova. Desperation time, though, with a minute left. And Nardi reaching around and sending Green back to the line.
Good job by the big people from Florida. You know, they're kind of underrated in terms of their effort. Very good when he gets grasp of the ball, looks ahead well, and Noah, we know, can put the ball on the floor. We saw it earlier on that drive when he went about 40 feet. Ball always in his left hand for the finish. Brewer can come back and help out as well. They have not faced the pressure with their guards as much as they have their big people.
Dwayne Anderson, 23, coming in for Villanova, 6'6" freshman from Silver Spring, Maryland. This Florida team at the line is shooting 88%, 22 of 25. 2 more for Green.
74% free throw shooting team. This team leads the nation in field goal shooting percentage. You got 5 starters, all in double figures. I mentioned earlier that the other thing that the great balance is that the 5 starters have better assists than turnovers from a ratio standpoint. Pretty solid all-around club.
Yeah, it really adds up, doesn't it? Team that won its first 17 of the season, and now less than a minute away from making it 9 in a row at the back end. If they can hold off Villanova's Foy with a player all over him, no call. Push off against Florida.
Foy was actually trying to draw the foul on that jump shot, and they maybe should have got the call.
Chevy players of the game. Joakim Noah with a double-double. And Randy Foy with 25 of Villanova's 61. Similar to what he did on Friday night when he had 29 of 60.
Well, here's his run in postseason play. He had 26 against Pitt, 17 against Monmouth, 24 Arizona. And of course, he had that 9 points in 45 minutes against BC. He has just had a great tournament.
Now, this Villanova team, so many people felt with the leadership it had. There's Rolly Massimino, who was here to cheer on the program. Won that championship in '85 as that 8th seed, the lowest seed to ever win it. The man who said, tradition never graduates. And his former assistant, Jay Wright, a great young coach who has brought in all the Villanova family to be a part of it. One more coming up for Anderson.
And Jim, it turns out with Florida going, there will not be a #1 seed. Everybody talked before this tournament, could 4 #1 seeds make it? And it ends up after the games are played, no #1 seed advanced to the tournament. Not since 1980 has that happened. And of course, that was when Denny Crum took his Louisville club to the national crown, beating UCLA.
I think it's a great thing for the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's you got to win the game. Nation means nothing.
So he'll be shooting free throws at the other end.
And a one-and-done deal. A lot of people think they can win tomorrow night's game. And do.
Well, with all of the, the thrilling Cinderella stories that came out of the first week, and now George Mason. And it's a history-making victory today. Well, how would you rank, after all these years, 32 years of covering the NCAA tournament, how would you rank weeks?
I think it's been the best.
For me, I'm 21 years, best ever.
The first weekend we had in Philadelphia, you just can't have it any better. We had 2 16s, play people, the play #1s right down to the wire, so you can't get any better than that.
So many great stories coming up at the Final Four. 3-point shot by Anderson, no, and Noah pulls it down, heading back to the other end. So this is what the Final Four looks like. Someone please that had it just like this. LSU and UCLA and George Mason against Florida.
Well, I can admit, Jim, I'm 0 for 4.
I am too. And Randy Foy coming out, and this senior group of Foy and Ray,
and he just hugged
Fraser. Curtis Sumter came in, and all 4 came in together.
Yeah, but could you imagine what this team might have been if Sumter was able to play? The one ingredient that they didn't have, the matchup with these bigger Sumter will be back with the team next year. And here we have Dunleavy coming to the ball game. Remember what his brother enjoyed on his floor.
Yeah, national championship. As now Ray gets his final moment on the floor, and a hug with the coach. These are the 2 that really were the building blocks for Jay Wright, again with Sumter and with Frazier, to rekindle the Villanova. That's Anderson rejected.
But they just have not learned in this game that there's no room down there in that paint to get those kind of shots off.
And they're going to let it go unchallenged now. It'll be UCLA against LSU. And George Mason and Florida next Saturday in the national semifinals. There you have it. The Gators are going to... Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, a new cold case, then CSI, and Without a Trace on a special night. Can't wait for next week. Billy, I'll see you in Indianapolis. We'll see you there, friends. Greg Gumbel's coming up after this. CBS on its 25th road to the Final Four.